just another movie night.
Hello and welcome to the show. I am Scott.
And I'm Joe.
And we're just another movie night, and this is before and after reviews where we go see a brand new movie in the theater and we give our thoughts before and after. But today, we're on catch-up duty. We've been on the road for a little bit, and we've missed a bunch of movies. And today we're going to do basically a catch-up on a whole bunch of films we haven't seen. Or we've missed in the couple last week. So I think we're going to do two. I think it's a double feature shot this week. So first up is The Nun 2.
There's something wrong with the school. Something doesn't feel right.
Sophie, what happened?
I think there's something here that's not meant to be.
What did you see?
I saw a nun.
This thing. It's come back for me.
This demon was once an angel. Rejected by God. Stripped of power.
It wants that power back. It's okay to be scared. I'm scared too.
You send that thing back to hell.
We already just saw it. We just came out of the movie theater, and we're not doing it before. And I will say, if I had to do it before on The Nun 2, none your business, I would have said, this movie's going to suck. And I didn't like the first one that much. And I'm going to see it because I love horror movies. To me, a horror movie is important, and I just really enjoy horror films. I like that idea of the scares, the creepiness. There's something about horror films that other movies don't do, which is visual flair, great cinematography, just really inventive stuff. And I really love to see when directors come along and do new inventive shit. I think you agree with me on this?
Oh my God, same. Yeah, but
Would you say the same thing about The Nun 1?
yes, I do agree with you on that. I wasn't I wasn't blown away by the first Nun.
Yeah.
It was okay. It's not something that I will ever scurry to turn off if it's on in the background.
Yeah, it might be good background noise, but
yeah.
the problem with that is that movie relied heavily on jump scares. But it's not even jump scares. It's heavily reliant on that Inception soundtrack from the trailers. You know, that big sting of music score to tell you should be scared.
Yes.
And I feel like that's a cheat. You know, I usually think that that's a throwaway thing to do in horror movies. Like, basically your weakest out. Like, if I don't have enough visual flair, I don't have enough strength in my own movie, I'll do jumps that are just not even, they don't even connect with the film. And then I'll do that score to make it sting. And sure, it might get everybody startled, but I wouldn't say it scares.
Right. I don't think it's cohesive. It doesn't prolong the fear, you know? Like, it just kind of like, okay, it comes and goes. You're in and out of it.
Yeah. Would you say anything else about the first movie that stands out? Why, what you didn't like, and what you thought going into this movie might be?
I mean, this was, well, going back to the jump scare thing. I thought the first, okay, well, let's just skip over the jump scare thing for now. The plot. I thought that the plot in the original was kind of just like, it was a little convoluted. I don't even really remember it.
Yeah, it was so generic that it kind of doesn't even it doesn't stand in my
stick
mind
out.
at all. Like, yeah, I can't even remember little bits. I remember the actors. I remember the three main characters that come out in the end.
Yeah, that I do remember. And then, like you said, just you knew when the jump scare was going to happen, so you didn't really feel the impact of it. This film, that was completely different.
Yeah, or if you're gonna already start talking about this new.
No, I just wanted to say that's what I remember about the original.
Yeah.
So
And was that your fear though, that they were going to do that again and
That
that was going to
was-
repeat?
yes,
Yeah, right.
yes, and also I had that trailer fear, that the trailer is going to be better than the movie, because I'm not going to lie, and we both admitted when we first saw that trailer for The Nun 2, they got us. They
Yeah.
got us, in one of those scenes,
Yeah,
and I was like,
and-
"Woo, that got me!" And
That's a good thing to bring up because they changed it completely in this movie.
And they did, yes, they did.
And good on them to do a fake trailer.
It was a trickery, yeah.
because that already sets up the mood, I think, for this film.
Yep.
And so if you want to, that's the before. We're not going to spoiler, by the way. We don't usually spoiler them before and afters, but sometimes movies, it's like the spoiler doesn't matter because you kind of already know what's going to happen, kind of. But we're not going to spoil it either way. But I just wanted to throw that out there before we start talking about the movie after seeing it now. I will say right off the bat, which is my catchphrase,
right
right off the bat.
right out of the gate.
Is that yours?
That's mine.
I will say something is up with the series that this movie connects to. The whole thing, right? The Conjuring, Annabelle. I think, is that everything? Is there another one? Oh, there was also La Llorona, but that's kind of
She's
it's not really clear if it's actually connecting. It is referenced
they're
maybe,
trying
but
to
not really.
indirectly relate it to that series, but I mean, it's not really a part of it.
Well, I'll say perfect thing to say with that. I hope there is a La Llorona 2 after seeing this film. Because
Yeah.
this series knocks it out of the fucking park when it does sequels. What is going on with the sequels? The sequels are always better than the original.
I know.
I don't
it's
know if you
true.
agree with me.
I
on
do
this.
agree with you. I was going to
Because
mention that.
Annabelle 2 and Annabelle Comes Home are way better than that first Annabelle movie. I don't even want to watch the first Annabelle. I mean, it's okay. I
Don't
know-
let her hear you say that.
I know she's upstairs.
She's upstairs.
She, I don't mind Annabelle 1. I know a lot of people don't like it too much. I actually think there's some really interesting stuff going on there visually, and I don't hate it. I know a lot of people did. But I like the other ones more, and that's a little sketchy. But also The Conjuring, I think the second one I liked a lot.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I feel like the sequels are much better. It's like they found their footing and they know what to do, and they know how to get people. And I think that's, yeah. I can see that happening for La Llorona.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you know who the director of this movie is, because I don't know anything. I'm completely blind on this film.
Okay, so this movie was directed by Michael Chavez.
Have we seen anything he else is like he's done? Anything else
Okay, so
that stands out?
he directed The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Wow, because I do not like that film.
He
That was
did-
my least favorite of the franchise.
Yeah, that was not. No, we did not care for that film. But he did the Curse of La Llorona. He directed that.
I can't believe it.
He directed that. Yeah. So it seems like he's in it. I mean, he's in this game. And then
Are you shocked
I mean,
finding that out after watching this film?
I am. Yeah. Yeah. Which actually gives me hope for a sequel to the.
But the other two were kind of references to. I don't know. I'm so
It's
shocked.
weird. Yeah.
I don't. Maybe that was a. I don't know if that was his first films, but maybe it's Three Times a Charm, because I'll just say it right off. I'm just gonna say it right now. I really, really enjoyed this film.
I really did too.
I was so surprised. I thought this was going to be a piece of shit.
I didn't think it was gonna be a piece of shit.
I just thought it was going to be another Nun where I was like, and it can't be any better than the first one. And then I'm sitting there during the movie going, holy shit, this is impressive. Great characters. Really actually care about the characters. And they could be so done in a way where it's so cliche, and maybe they kind of are, but the payoff for where they were going with it even when they didn't even give it enough build up, the movie still found a way to make them endearing. Like, you kind of don't want anybody to get hurt.
Right. Right.
Well, there's some little girls in there. I would love to
there's
see
little
again.
bullies.
But
Yeah, there's little bullies in there that need a little bit of a smack. But
Yeah.
otherwise, there's this little girl in it. Her name is Sophie. She's charming. She's adorable. There's another character that we meet. She's another nun with Thaisa Farmiga, and they have really good chemistry together.
yeah, we got a couple of characters back. Shockingly, one of the characters is not back, and they just kind of like throw it out.
Yes.
He's not in this movie. And that was surprising. But yeah, this movie visually looks great. They do very, very cool scares. A lot of it seems very practical, too.
Yes, it does. And the way that they go about it is so hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah, I will say that the creativity behind each thing
Yeah.
really worked for me. I don't know what it was, but I found it like hauntingly awesome to look at. Just something about it was just like the creep factor. It like, okay, here's the thing. I don't really get scared by movies anymore. I think at this point I'm jaded. I've seen so many movies. I've watched way too many that I kind of usually know what's going to happen and where we're going. Mm-hmm. And nothing really scares me. I've been creeped out by some movies, but it's starting to get that the ones that are creeping me out, the ones that make me feel the most uneasy or the most scared, are usually becoming the psychological films. Mm-hmm. The slashers and the haunting and exorcist films do not.
Yeah, see, I mean, I'm on that level with you. Like, I don't like the exorcism films used to scare the crap out of me. Like, for instance, The Exorcist, the original.
Yes,
Scare the crap out of me.
Yes.
But now it's getting so common to do, like we recently watched the Pope's exorcism.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could have talked about that here
oh,
too.
Jesus. I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't do this. I can't do it anymore. I'm done, I think. But now we have Exorcist Believer coming out.
Which I'm completely terrified
and
by. I think it's
I-
going to be bad.
I'm
but-
scared, but I'm like so intrigued because I mean, even if Ellen Burstyn gets 10 minutes of screen time, I am happy because I'm so happy that she's a national treasure. They brought her back, and I'm excited. So here I am getting sucked back into the exorcism stuff, but otherwise I am in agreement with you. I feel like I'm not scared by that kind of stuff anymore because they just do like body horror and then they do the twitching and the whole neck cricking and all that stuff, and it's just been done into the ground. It's been enough already. But this kind of thing, there was some real stuff going on
It
here.
usually doesn't work for me. I will say that here it is more of a creep factor. I think it's mostly because the nun. Something about if I saw it in the dark, like I was laughing because we have a movie theater we go to, and you have to walk downstairs, and then you have to turn a corner to leave. Now, if I would have turned that corner and the first thing I saw was the nun, I would have fucking shit my pants. It would have got me. It would have worked. Like if one of our friends dressed
my
like the
God.
nun and did that to scare us,
Oh God,
that shit would have got me.
that would have been amazing.
I probably would have screamed like a little girl. No doubt in my mind. It would have got me.
Screaming like banshees.
Screaming like banshees. I would have ran out the exit.
We always go back to Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, so I mean, it works, and like we brought up, the trailer kind of lied about some scares, and there was a, I don't know, I'm gonna guess, there is a practical creature in this movie,
Okay.
a practical effect of
Yeah,
some sort.
I feel like that was a practical effect that
If
we
it's
saw.
not a practical effect, if it was a digital effect, it looked real,
Yeah.
and it looked awesome.
I'm going to say 100%. Well, after reading the trivia, it makes this more amazing to me because you know how like I have an obsession with abandoned creepy places and
They
haunted
filmed it in a real
places.
place.
Yes, it was an abandoned church.
You can tell. I mean, there's some stained glass work they did here. They came out with some really cool visual cues and visual ideas.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm surprised. I even love the setup that I didn't know was going to come back. And then the way it comes back. The whole movie, I did one of those rare things that I never do, but I kept going, that's pretty cool. Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
good on them. I kept doing that during the movie, like, oh, I'm impressed.
Yeah, there was
I'm
a couple
impressed.
times where we actually looked at each other and we were like, "Wow,"
Wow, yeah.
and we don't do that much.
I mean, and I will say, this has a great opening.
It really does.
You know-
Like the first like 10 seconds, or I wouldn't say 10 seconds, maybe like first 2 minutes. I mean, it's right out of the gate.
It starts right off the bat.
Yeah,
We both said,
I know
didn't we?
we're such goobers.
I'm telling you, I say it
need
so
to
often
stop.
now, and I can't.
So yeah,
Can't stop.
it was like immediately it just went right into the movie, and you automatically get that creepy vibe like from minute one.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a great.
It is a
feeling.
great setup. It's
Yeah.
a great opening to the film.
And the set pieces and the fact that they did film in an abandoned church in France just makes it all more beautiful to me because I love creepy, beautiful abandoned things, and I love churches. I love churches.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? We're not religious.
Not at all.
I actually find religion scarier than most things. I think that's why The Exorcist creeps me out so
Same,
much.
same, yeah.
I don't know what it is, and sorry if anybody who is religious that listens. No slight on you. I love that anybody can believe in what they want, and that makes them feel better.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about imagery of religion that just makes me feel uneasy. It just doesn't. It makes me more creeped out than anything. And so, church scenes, nuns, all that stuff already makes me feel weird. Mm-hmm. And so when I watch the movie, I feel even more so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. I mean, there aren't. It's not all positives. I mean, of course, negatively, there are some things here that are suspect. You know, a little cliche, a little suspect, a little like, and then those setups are like not very fleshed out. The character stuff isn't well fleshed out. I do really love that this is purely a woman film, a female-centered film that revolves around almost all female characters.
Mm-hmm.
Really enjoyed that. It felt refreshing.
Yeah, even the villain.
Even the villain, you're
Yeah.
right. Except there is one central guy character who is central in a way where he's the one that needs to be saved.
Yeah.
And there is one other male character. There are a couple have lines, but there's one other character who shows up to give a lot of exposition. Mm-hmm. He feels a little cliche.
Yeah,
and
it is.
could have been better built up. Or that character could have been utilized a little better, or maybe they could have done a little of investigating to whatever to come up with these ideas.
Well, we always talk
but I know
about
it's
this.
about moving the movie forward quickly.
We always talk about how there's always a character that knows everything and has
And
the
it's always an
answers to
old
everything.
man.
And he's always an old man. He knows every single thing. He's got, oh, I can help you with that.
Yeah, there's
You know?
a guy in a bar, usually in a movie. I always joke around that when I get older and I retire, I'm going to be the old man in a bar that warns everybody about the thing that's going to happen. That's all I want to do. I'm going to move to country and warn everybody about the pumpkin patch.
You're all doomed.
Yeah, I'm going to say crazy shit, and they're all going to go, oh, that's old crazy Scott. He doesn't know anything. Just don't listen
God.
to him. Ignore him. Don't go near the pumpkin patch.
Oh, the
Oh,
cornfield.
watch out for the lake. The lake of the lady lake. He's drunk. He always says crazy shit. Doesn't make any sense. And then one day the lady lake thing's going to happen, and they're going to be like, that guy warned us.
Yeah, he
Whatever
said you
happened,
were
old
doomed.
Scott?
You said you were doomed and you should have listened.
Yep. Move town to town. Just do that for the rest of my life. I want to be that dude.
Town to town, you
Town
know
to
that
town.
job.
What are you laughing? What's about that? You don't like my town to
You want to
town?
move town to town.
Country
and
to
just-
country?
Yeah, you want to just go sit in like some dive bars and just
Yeah.
tell everyone they're
In
doomed.
France, they're not even gonna. That guy's not even speaking French. You know, I'm gonna be that
God.
guy. So crazy American
Well,
lives
so
on the lake.
I'm gonna go ahead and say before we get silliness now, is that there's the thing that bothered me a little bit in this
Yeah,
movie
please.
was there's just a little bit silliness going on with the plot. I mean, it kind of just ended. You know, like something happened and it just ended. But I didn't understand what was making this happen.
There's a MacGuffin in this film. There's a giant MacGuffin that the movie it needs, and it's not very. You're not very aware of what exactly it's doing, what exactly it is. You kind of understand what it is, but it's kind of a weak thrown together thing. There's a better ending that I liked that kind of like connected to it a little bit of like these characters' plot. I will say that there's a character here that's kind of established that some of her fears are going to come back, and there's going to be more of diving into her, and they don't really do anything.
No,
with
they
it.
don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I needed a little bit more because they spent a lot of time and put a lot of love and energy into set pieces and
And I think that's why I enjoyed it.
creep factor and all that. But the plot was a little bit lacking.
Yeah,
I feel.
You know, when you think about a lot of people, one of my biggest pet peeves is that the people say, they don't make horror movies like they used to and shit like that. Well, I'm going to say that this movie felt more 80s horror than a lot of films do, although it didn't have, it had that new style vibe and those actors and actresses that feel new generation. It still did shit that was crazy
Yeah.
that you would see in the 80s movies where it's not about like really establishing characters. It's not really about, the characters are there and you understand their motivations and their goals, but it's more about the fun of the horror aspect. I think that's why a lot of 80s movies are kind of like fun and why
Yeah.
people hold them so dear. This movie feels like that.
It does. It does feel like that. And there's like so much going on in this movie visually that, it's just so stunning.
If this came out in the 80s, this would be like a cult favorite.
I think so.
Yeah.
And like I said about going back to the creep factor, this had creep factor 11. I mean, there was so much creepiness and also beauty in it, and just the set design, the set pieces, the long shots of the churches, and everything looked like castles in France, and
Yeah.
it was just beautiful to look at. And I like her, Thaisa Farmiga. I think she's cute.
Yeah, she's not. I don't see her enough.
No,
I thought she was going to be a bigger star.
She needs to be in more things.
Yeah.
But because we like her sister too.
It is odd, this the fact that she's playing in this series with her sister.
That
It's
involves
like
her sister.
a
Yeah.
past and the present type thing.
Yeah.
And she could have been playing her young. I never understood why they chose to do this, because it could have been connected better. I don't think they're saying that she's connected to her in the bloodline.
No, I don't think there's.
I don't think so either, but it feels like they should have.
I mean, it would make sense because the movie The Nun is taking place in 1954. This one, The Nun 2, is taking place in 1954.
Was
They
this 50s?
open with that.
Okay.
Yes, they open with that, and they're in Europe. So it has that feel because of being where they are and in the time period, that the churches just feel so like almost alive with just spiritualism. I don't know. I can't.
Well, that's okay.
I
You're
can't really
telling me
put
this
into
movie
words.
started with 1954?
Yeah.
So her sister is playing a character in the 60s. In the 70s.
Yeah, that's true. That
So
they
it's only
did
like 10
start-
years apart.
Yeah. Not that far apart.
So
It's
she could
1956.
she can actually be her. She's not.
No, she's not.
Because they're playing real life
you're
characters.
suggesting that Lorraine Warren was a nun.
That's what
No.
I'm saying. But don't you find it weird that they have such a connection in the series? Like, she has the nun painting.
I mean,
She
yeah.
paints the nun.
It is.
And
It is
she's
weird.
fighting the nun, and they're like sisters that look similar, and they have a connection.
Yeah, it is very strange. It is strange. Like, I feel like they did that for a reason. They chose her for a reason.
I felt like they were going to use that and do something with it, that maybe she left being the nun at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, I mean, they're calling this, they're saying that The Nun from 2018 is the 9th installment in the Conjuring universe.
Yes, it's a
So-
universe. Yeah,
Yeah, but there's if you go by universe, that's not saying that she's somehow related to.
well, I'm just saying that they could have met.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
They could actually meet,
Yeah. Maybe.
because it, like you said, it's only 10 or so years apart.
Let me see. The more the Conjuring, or what came out? Conjuring came out first, and then
Yeah,
Annabelle?
everything kind of went off of it. Yeah.
Okay, so The Conjuring was 2013, and that was 1970 when that movie was taking place.
So it was the 70s. Okay.
1970. So yeah.
Still wouldn't they be that young? How old do you think that she is in this film, that character?
I can't say, but I know that the actress is in her 30s.
She is.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, she would only be around 50 when in the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they could meet. Okay. All right.
Maybe.
That would be interesting. That'd be really cool, actually.
I think it would be really cool.
I wonder if they'll get to that. I didn't like the last Conjuring film. I always like that middle film. Like, I think I liked Annabelle Comes Home, too, which is virtually the third Conjuring. They say it's Annabelle 3, but it's very much a Conjuring film because it takes place in the house.
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
It's
anyways,
weird, but yeah.
what's the final scores here? What are we giving?
Okay, well-
Since I'm ranting about weird ass theories and ideas.
Well, I mean, I totally like this movie. I had a great time with it. I was creeped out. I had a good time, and I left there feeling good about it. Aside from little plot things, I give this movie a 7.
Yeah,
I
I'm
liked
going
it.
7.
I liked it.
Which is something I never ever expected to give a horror movie recently, because like you said, we did Pope's Exorcist, which I also believe is this year.
Yeah, I think it is.
I feel like it's this year.
And we skipped that one in the theater too, simply because
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be bad.
we
Yeah.
just had a feeling about it.
And same thing with that other exorcism film that seems very similar. It's like a nun brought into.
Oh,
We haven't seen that yet
That's
either.
the one with
Cannot remember anything about the
Oh.
name or anything.
It's
but
not. It's wait, hold on. It's not Kate Bosworth, right? She's not.
it looks like her.
It looks like her, but it's a different actress.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
definitely
right?
not her.
Ugh, I don't remember.
I can make up some names if you want of what I think it's called.
Oh,
Exorcism of Jane DeRoe.
I like it. Jane
The
DeRoe.
Trapping of the Devil in the Cage. I'm sorry, now I'm doing Giallo.
You are. Oh
Anyways,
my God.
the reason I brought up Pope's Exorcist is because that movie is exactly what I hate about exorcism films. It does all of it. It somehow has an interesting character that walks into a boring universe, and then
Yeah.
you're really just like, how could the scares be this boring
Mm-hmm.
and this cliche and tropey? And then this movie comes, and I'm like expecting the same shit, and here I'm going, holy crap! I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. You know, I read someone's review on Instagram. I cannot remember their Instagrammer, but I think they put up a joke. They're like, "Will there be a nun in this Nun 2?" Apparently, they said there wasn't enough nun.
Okay, so there is 2 minutes and 55 seconds worth of the nun on screen.
What?
That's what they're saying in the trivia.
There's no way that's possible. The nun seems like it's in every other scene.
I don't know.
It opens with the nun. And first off, when they're saying that, you mean there's the nun's face?
Yeah, the nun herself.
Oh, fuck that. I
Yeah.
mean, first off, it's always in shapes and backgrounds and silhouettes, which I actually like better.
Yeah,
think
I
it's
like that
more
too.
creepy, more scary to do that.
Yeah, same. By the way, that movie's called Pray for the Devil.
God, I could have came up with that. You shouldn't
Pray
have
for
said,
the devil.
We should have played a game. The game show of what the hell the name of this exorcism film is.
We didn't see that either, just because it's going to be
Pray
a piece
for
of
the
crap, I think.
devil.
But
I've seen. I can't wait now.
I mean, we're gonna have to-
Halloween time.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But
I'm sure there's gonna be what's a Nightmare on Film Street.
Nightmare on Film Street, shout out.
Shout out to Nightmare on Film
We
Street, who
love you
always does
guys.
a come up with a movie. They have like a list to do every day of Halloween of October.
Yeah,
so
we
I'm sure there's a possession film in
There has to be. I saved the list to my phone,
So
so
now
I
we know what
got
that
it.
is. We're gonna
But,
watch.
yeah, I mean, there is a piece of trivia in here that says that the nun is not on the nun in the nun form appears for a total of 2 minutes and 57
I
seconds.
just don't believe that. And who went and watched this movie and timed it? That's got to be
Somebody.
fake trivia. Is
I
there a
don't
lot of
know.
thumbs up or thumbs down to that?
4 people found this interesting.
Out of how? How many?
I don't know.
4 out of 4?
4 out of 4.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we give it 7s. Now, next up, we're going to go see, which we haven't seen it yet, so we're going to give our befores on this one, which is The Haunting of Venice. Mm-hmm. The new movie from Kenneth Branagh, about him playing the legendary detective from Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot.
Yes. You have to say it like him, though.
Do it, please. That's what I was hoping you were going to say.
No, I can't do it.
I knew you were going to.
Poirot. He says it. He says it with an
Hercule
accent.
Poirot.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm excited to see that movie because I love mysteries and all that. I love Agatha Christie.
This is a weird thing. Kenneth Branagh. I really like Kenneth Branagh. And
You're saying his name wrong. You've been saying his name wrong this whole time.
What is it?
It's my job to point this out.
Well, I say everybody's name's wrong.
Kenneth Branagh. Branagh. Yeah.
What am I saying?
Branagh. You're saying Branagh. There's no N at the end of his name. It's Branagh.
Pray for this God.
Pray for this guy.
Kenneth
Branagh.
Robot. Robot. Okay.
It's
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh.
I said it good.
Jason Statham.
Fuck it. For now on, I'm calling him Gilroy Lockhart.
It's not even Gilroy. It's Gilderoy.
Is it? Oh no,
dude.
Oh dude, I'm fired.
You're failing me.
I'm never gonna say another name. I'm gonna gap and then have you overdub me.
It's my job to correct you because you speak too fast and you don't.
I do. I speak. Yeah, I have this thought that you should always go fast and not leave any dull moments.
Right, and do we ever leave any dull moments? Do we?
Well,
No.
that's the whole thing. I'm running, trying to keep it together.
That's
and
why
you know
I'm
what?
here. You're here to tell me if I say something stupid.
I didn't even say the Harry Potter name wrong. I said that wrong too, I mean.
Yeah, it
Good
is Gilderoy. I'm not wrong, right? You're supposed to be the Potterhead.
I don't know. All I know is it's Brachium Armendo.
Brachium Armendo.
The best. I fucking love
See?
Chamber of Secrets,
You just have
everybody.
to say it like
I
that.
don't know why I enjoyed that movie so much.
Yeah. Is it Leviosa? Not Leviosa.
That's what you sound like.
Hey, I'm just trying to help.
Okay,
here.
so Kenneth. I know him well.
Okay, you know him well.
Look, I like this guy. I love this actor. I've enjoyed him for a very long time. This is one of those actors that I've liked. And I've seen every movie that he does. Except one that I heard someone told us to watch. Well, no, someone didn't tell us to watch it. Someone said it's the worst movie they've ever seen, and I want to do it on the show, which is the Disney movie he did.
Oh.
Probably gonna butcher this one, but Artemis Fowl.
Oh, no, that's right. Oh my God, we didn't see that one.
He directed it apparently, and it bombed.
Oh my God, people are saying that's like one of the worst movies ever made.
And I'm like, how could it be? But I cannot wait. So that'll be definitely on our other show, Talking Trash, sooner or later. But that goes into him as a director.
Oh man.
Because he also he has directed some strange stuff, like Thor 1.
Oh, that's weird.
And he's done these Perot films, which I know I'm not saying his name right, and I don't give a fuck.
I'm just teasing you about
No, I'm
it.
probably
He just says
not.
it with an accent.
Yeah. I said Hercule, right?
That is how he said it.
That's how I said it.
Yeah,
I said
you're
that right.
You're right. I'm just messing with
these Agatha Christie movies. And this is his third one, which is surprising because I didn't think the last one did good. It was during COVID, and I think only I remember we saw it in the theater.
No, Death on the Nile?
Death on the Nile was a sequel.
Death
And
on the Nile.
I enjoy his version. I know a lot of people were mad about it. I actually liked what he did with the last one. I think he added a little bit about it with himself, the character.
Yeah, but see, it's hard because like I've seen all the original versions of these movies, like
That's
from the
the biggest
70s. So I'm like, okay.
And not only that, the incredible television show. If anybody has not seen the television series about this character, there's an entire one from
It's on the BBC,
the
but
BBC
I
put
think you
out.
could check it out now.
Yeah, it's on something called BritBox, so you can find
BritBox.
Amazon.
Yeah, it's a great show.
It's very good, and they did all of her books and all of her short stories are episodes throughout the series, and you actually watch this character his entire life.
Yeah.
You see him beginning to his end, and I think that is great. And after seeing so much of that, it's very hard to see a new version. But here's something great. I don't know this story.
Oh, okay.
This is one I don't know.
Okay.
When I saw the preview, I didn't even know it was what it was. I thought it was going to be another generic horror film.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I don't know. I have faith simply because I don't recall ever seeing like another version of that movie.
Yeah, that kind of excites me.
Yeah,
I'm
it
going
does.
in completely blind on the story. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I don't know. So I think that's a definite plus.
Putting in my rating on the Nun 2. But yeah. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That's what I was doing with my phone. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm going in with a really positive attitude.
Yeah, it has it again. He gets great casts.
He does.
That's definitely something.
Who's the lead in that one?
In which one?
In the new one?
There's a really interesting bunch of people in this film. I remember when we saw the preview. I think like Tina Fey's in this.
What?
It's a really unique bunch of people, I think.
Huh.
It's the
Interesting.
same time with the last movie and the one before that. There's just a really diverse cast of really intriguing people. He keeps finding new people to do these movies with. So I don't know. I'm actually really looking forward to this film. I can't wait to see what it turns out to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm checking into this. That it doesn't look like they ever did a Haunting in Venice, like from the 70s or anything. So this is like the first time.
Okay.
That should be interesting.
Oh, that's
Because like
interesting.
when I
This
watched it,
isn't
I think it was Death on the Nile, and like Maggie Smith was in that, and you can feel the time period.
Yeah.
But I like the way that he shot Death on the Nile, his version. But I just didn't think it was a very strong movie. I guess maybe because I knew the outcome, and because I read the book, so I kind of knew. But I don't know.
Yeah, you don't think that this is a possibility that this is a new like story that they wrote in with the character? This is definitely based off a book of hers, right?
Yeah, she did the book. Let me see.
Yeah, it does say Agatha Christie.
Yeah, it's her book.
So Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Dornan, Tina Fey, I was right.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see her in a. I don't know what role she's playing.
Your favorite character from Yellowstone.
Oh shit, Beth. I think I hate the actress
Kelly
because I
Riley.
hate that character. I know that's really
I know
bad.
it's gonna damn her forever.
I'm
but
sorry,
you
she's
also saw
terrible.
that movie with her and Michael Fassbender that angered you very much. I think it's called Eden Lake.
Oh my god, it did.
Sorry to bring that one up too.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that crap. I don't like her.
But I'm
It's
looking.
only because I character. I'm sorry.
No,
Can't
I
take
get it. I get it. And I guess you should say that you love Agatha Christie.
I love Agatha Christie.
Yeah, it's one of your favorites.
She's
You
my
love
favorite.
murder
I
mysteries. That's
love
why
it, yeah.
you should be even more excited than I am.
Totally stoked about it. I'm totally stoked.
I'm
Usually
just-
these movies are ensemble cast things, so I don't think that anyone's gonna bother me. Like, any one person.
True.
Hopefully not.
I think the biggest goal for me is I love a mystery, but I rarely get tricked in a film. So I think that this might actually be one of those movies that, I'm not going to know what the twist is. I'm not going to know the story. So I'm actually going to sit there and try to think it out, which is going to be my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, same. And also, just a piece of trivia: her book was not called A Haunting in Venice.
What is it?
It is based on her 1969 novel Halloween Party. Now, I've never read that.
I've never heard
And
of
I
this
have read a
story.
lot of Agatha Christie books, and I have never read
And this
Halloween
isn't a
Party.
short story. This was an actual full novel that she did?
It's a novel, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she wrote 66 novels and 14 short story collections.
Incredible. With
and-
different characters. Mm-hmm. Perot is not is only one of her many characters that
Yeah.
she had as detectives.
But Halloween Party does feature him, so that's so that he changed the name, But yeah, the book was called Halloween Party, and that's what we got for you.
So,
piece of
what do you
trivia.
think you're going to come out with on this one, score-wise?
Oh, A Haunting in Venice. I have a feeling it's going to be at least intriguing, So I'm going to say I'll come out with a 6. I want to come out higher. I really do. But I think a 6 I'll come out.
I mean, I think I agree with you. And I think I felt like that when it came out of the last one. I know a lot of people didn't love it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was fun. I didn't like the other one.
Death on the Nile?
Death on the Nile was the last one.
Murder on the Orient Express.
I felt like it didn't do the story justice the way... he's more of an action hero in that movie, and it's really strange for that character. And also, they got Johnny Depp being Johnny Depp. So you kind of already know what's happening, and you kind of know the story. And then when they changed the ending a little bit, and it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. They made a TV movie based on Murder on the Orient Express, and they did a TV movie based on Death on the Nile. And also, I read the books, those 2 books. So I've had my fill of all of it. So
Yeah.
by the time I got to Kenneth Branagh's movies,
It was underwhelming.
I was like, Okay.
I still thought it was okay.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
as far
fine.
as the
It
movie
looked
goes,
beautiful.
yeah.
The directing was good. The actors were fun.
Yeah.
But I found the last one a little better. I think it kind of stepped it up in some of the portrayals and some of the character stuff. And I kind of liked the backstory stuff that he added to his character. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really unique and interesting. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of my favorite things to see what Kenneth Branagh's going to... Oh, I'm sorry.
Kenneth Branagh.
Branagh. God. KB. See what KB does in the next film.
KB.
So yeah, let's go check this movie out, and you can smack me off air.
Oh, never.
All right.
Hercule Poirot, I've found something. I've looked at it from every which way. I am the smartest person I ever met, and I can't figure it out, so I came to the second.
You are up to something, my friend.
I've seen a million of these so-called psychics, each one a fake.
I do not believe in psychics.
Come with me to a seance. Spot the con I can't.
Detective, you are here to discredit me, but I can talk to the dead.
I'd give all I have to hear my daughter's voice.
If someone wants to be heard, we are here. Listening.
Mama? Felicia?
What is happening?
You can't trap us here. Somebody is dead. No one shall leave this place until I know who did it.
A ghost killed her.
There must be a rational answer for all of this.
Just admit that you are up against something bigger than you.
Something in this house tried to kill me.
Don't look at me like I'm a suspect. We're old friends.
Every murderer is somebody's old friend. No one shall leave until I find if the living have been killed by the dead.
And we're back. We just saw A Haunting in Venice.
Why you gotta start without me? I ain't even ready. Dang.
You're not ready?
No.
What way have you been?
I was fucking around online.
You're fucking around online.
Yeah, and I
Did
don't
you find anything out?
I have my glasses on. I ain't ready. Damn it. No, I'm looking on Instagram.
We just walk in the door and I just shoot it out. And I'm just like, hey, go here and start.
You just flushed the toilet.
Get it.
You just got out of there.
Jesus, I guess I gotta edit all that out now.
No, you don't. You totally took me off guard. I took you off guard too, sucker.
Sucker Brown.
Anyway, so we just saw Haunting in Venice,
Yeah.
directed by Kenneth Branagh,
Mm-hmm.
and starring Tina Fey and that bitch I don't like that plays Beth.
Jeez.
I mean, I'm not saying the actress is a bitch. I'm
Going
saying
for that.
Beth from Yellowstone is a bitch.
You're going for blood with Kelly Riley.
Kelly Riley. Kelly Riley's not a bitch. Beth Dunham or whatever is a bitch. Anyway, she was good in this. She was fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, right off the bat, spoiler free, of course. This is a murder mystery movie, and that's what this is. This whole series, this is the third in a series of these movies directed by him on the same character, Agatha Christie character. And I like this movie. I thought it was very good. I think that my big thing here is that these films are fun and interesting. Mm-hmm. And if you're into murder mysteries, these are definitely good for that.
Yeah, which we are. And
Yeah.
we love whispering over to each other like, okay, this is going on and we believe this is going on and this person did this.
Yeah. Which you get mad at me because I usually try to spoil the movie because I try to guess.
Well, yeah, I do get mad at you because I literally kept quiet even though the wheels were turning in my head. I kept quiet on purpose so we can discuss it later after. But
I can't help myself. I
I
have
know
to
you
talk
can't
to you
help
because you're
yourself.
my bestie.
oh,
You're
thanks.
my best friend, the love of my life.
Oh, thanks.
And so I want to share my thoughts with you.
Oh.
And usually those thoughts are, I have it nailed. And I was pretty damn close. I pretty much knew a lot, but I couldn't whisper enough to you.
I
but
always think you're a
whispered
smarty
too,
pants.
I whispered two things. I was dead on.
Yeah, you whispered two things, and I was thinking something else. But either way, this movie was okay. Can I just start with the positives that I? Okay, so the positives on this movie were that the the, the setting of the movie was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. It was basically filmed in one spot in Venice, one house, and this house was so creepy and haunting and lovely.
This is a great set.
Great set. Yeah, great set. And I thought he was great as usual. Kenneth Branagh. And I thought that pretty much everybody was good. They did fine. There's a kid in this that I thought he was adorable. He was like, I don't know, what, 12 going on 45?
Yeah, his name is Jude Hill, and I don't know if we know him from anything, but yeah, he had a really great presence.
Mm-hmm.
That running thing where we talk about kid actors, and when you see a child who just knows how to do a movie,
Mm-hmm.
this is one of those kids instantly very interesting, very likable, and intriguing
Yes.
as a character.
100%. He was like he literally was like a young politician. Like he looked like an older man in a kid body, and he just, the way he like carried himself, he was like, I don't know, he just reminded me of like a politician. I don't know why, but he was adorable. He did really good in this.
Yeah, the casting is great. I think the highlight is definitely set and the location and cinematographer, who I'm not going to even try to pronounce this name, but go for it.
Harris Zambarlukas.
Let's do that.
Zambarlukas.
That's his long-standing cinematographer he's been working with on Belfast and all of these movies, and fantastic shots. They set up some great location shots, some really interesting backdrops, a fantastic ending that's just gorgeous to look at. I could sit there and just stare at it. You said, "Let's get up, let's go," and I'm like, "Oh, look at this! Look at this shot. It's gorgeous."
Yeah.
What that kind of positive also kind of has a downside. I think this movie, I think it's a little indulgent in the directing. And
Okay.
I found a lot of the stylized shots a little too much, especially with close-ups and pannings and also angles. Everything's at angles, which is I usually talk about with Dutch angles. There's a lot of those angles and close-ups and stylized and lighting shots and sometimes blurs, and he's going really indulgent in the directing here. But I will say it also is killer. There is a lot of great shots.
I thought the shots were great that he was trying to pull off, and he actually did pull them off.
There's just a little too much of a stylized thing going on in the opening here when it's needed. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it was, I think sometimes certain people, when they make mysteries, they know that it's hard to trick people or keep people trying to guess. So a lot of the time they'll shoot in a way where there's no way for you to see the things that the detective is seeing.
Well,
Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course, that
you
keeps
over
the air of
stylize.
mystery.
Yeah,
Yes.
you overdo the shots, keep us whirling, keep us moving, so we don't really see what he's seeing.
Mm-hmm. And I like it, but I like also the fact that he balances the light and the dark, because there's very few moments of light in this movie, but when he did use the light, it came at the proper time,
Yeah. Yeah. When it's needed, he's a really good director. I that's what shocks me, that he's made some movies that people don't like. Like the first Thor and.
I don't know. I feel like with his style, I think Thor was a little out of place for him. Now that I'm like watching,
It was an odd
Yeah,
choice to
it
even
is.
have him do that. And also this other Disney movie that's supposed to be terrible. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say, but he does bring a really interesting flair, and he seems to understand where to put the camera and when. But I will say it does border on that too much. A little of that, what's that, show don't tell type thing, and there is like less showing and more of us stewing in moments.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
how they that's how they
sometimes
do
that
it. If
kind
it's a
of
mystery.
Yeah, I understand that,
You know,
but
they-
sometimes it kind of can get a little too much.
I get it. I get
It's
it.
definitely there, but I do think it also borders. It's a perfect balance. It's right there on the cusp of being too much and great.
Okay.
So it's like right there for me of being like, damn, this looks good. This is really interesting shots. This is great looking stuff. I would say the same goes for the cast. It's right on the border there. I think Jamie Dornan is in this, and he's doing a part that's a little overboard. His character is very embellished, so his acting is perfect for what it is supposed to be, but the character just seems so intense. And the same thing goes for some of the other characters. Tina Fey is doing an old school reporter type thing that you've seen kind of mocked, like that, the Moxie. She's, I got an idea, and I think I know what I'm doing. Like that. That kind of thing. It works, but there are some scenes that are like a little too overboard, a little too over the top. I think this had a problem in the last movie too, with some of the actors being a little too much.
Yeah, I think it's just because of the time period they're trying to overdo it.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm not gonna lie to you. I do. It's hard for me to look at Tina Fey as a serious actress.
I think that she has it in her. I think that she has a really interesting evil role in her.
I mean, I guess, but
I would see if someone's like picked, when Anthony Hopkins plays Hannibal Lecter, you kind of like, oh wow, why hasn't anybody thought of this before?
well, I wouldn't go that far. I personally think that when Anthony Hopkins played Hannibal Lecter, that's just pure magic. But
That's what I'm saying. He's like, you wouldn't take this thespian actor and then give him this serial killer role. You kind of like, it's a gamble. It's like Robin Williams in 1 Hour Photo. This is a gamble, right? You don't know what this is going to be, but then kind of genius. I think Tina Fey's got that in her to do one of these kind of roles in movies.
you know,
I
what it is?
really do.
It's I think Tina Fey is great. I think she's a great comedian. But I feel like her face always exudes snarkiness.
I do agree.
Like she's always got this half-assed, like shit-eating grin, like smirk on her face.
I think that leads into what I'm saying. I think, to me, she seems like she could be your best friend.
And your worst
and
enemy.
then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it could drop on a dime. And I think that's what I'm getting from that. Like, I think that'd be great. But that's way off the part here. She's doing this old-timey reporter, which is really... And it's like, it's kind of bordering on that. And I don't know.
She's playing Ariadne Oliver, which
Yeah,
is
but you know
a
what
famous person in the books.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the old-time reporter. I'm
Yeah,
just saying
like-
that there's that joke about
Yeah,
the old-time reporter.
see?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that.
I have a bunch of moxie, and, I'm going to do this thing. And
Yeah,
I
she's-
really know, and...
I mean, it's kind of kind of role for her is fitting if she was in a different setting. You know what I mean? I feel like this movie is too serious to have her, because her facial expressions give her away as something other than the role she's playing.
I
know?
guess so.
Like-
I mean, it kind of worked here. I had no real problem with it.
I mean, no, I had no
There's
real
just some
problem
bits
with it.
that feel a little too fake. Like
But,
sometimes
yeah.
you don't know, and I think that also adds to that mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Like push it back a little bit. Oh, the actors are a little too off, so you never know who's really crazy or who's not. But let's talk about the standout actor, Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, well, she's always
when
great.
she's on scene in frame,
Mm-hmm.
she eats up the frame. She is just ruling.
She has a presence on screen.
Yeah, it's incredible, and she's very good in this.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
wonderful.
when she is talking with Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh.
Why do I keep saying I want to say his name Branagh so bad.
It is not
but
Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh. When they're delivering dialogue to each other, it's fantastic, and he knows exactly how he shouldn't leave the camera off of her.
Yeah, he definitely knows
He
that.
lingers
You're
the
right.
shot on her,
He does. He
and
knows
it's great.
how to linger on her face
Yep.
and every single aspect of her face because she's very, first of all, Michelle Yeoh is like beautiful. And she can be haunting at the same time, so like hauntingly beautiful. And in this movie, she is just that. And he frames her face so well. It just looks just
Yeah,
magical.
she delivers. There's a speech where she delivers a bunch of dialogue, and she is crying, like tears are welling, and she refuses to like blink. She's
Yeah.
doing very light blinking, and it is fantastic.
And it just
delivery.
comes off of her so easily. It's just so fluid, and she's just such she's just magical to
Yeah.
watch. She really is. She's breathtaking. I love her. So she was definitely one of the major highlights of this movie. But how would you say that this holds up against his other Agatha Christie movies? So we have this pitted against Death on the Nile and Murder on the Orient Express. How would you say this ranks with those?
I think this is the best one.
Absolutely, I agree.
I think this is the best one. I liked the last one. There was things about it I really enjoyed, and I really liked that they gave backstory to him. And he tried to do something new, and I respect the new choices. But I do definitely think this is my favorite because I think, you know what, we're kind of biased. Let's face facts, because this takes place on Halloween, and it's also dark in an abandoned, like a scary house, and there's so many elements that we love, and it's a murder mystery. It's kind of everything that I
Yeah.
kind of want to see in a film.
It's true, and I'm reading the trivia that it says that in the novel, well, it was called Halloween Party, Agatha Christie's novel, and that was written in 1969, and in that novel, this took place in the UK, not in Venice. So
Oh wow.
I guess they just moved the story to Venice.
Good
which
choice.
I thought was a really good choice
Yeah.
because it was like creepy.
It adds to trapping them in a place, because that's the whole thing. Like basically, a murder happens and they trap everybody in the house and they can't leave. And it's perfect because in Venice, it's very hard to leave. You have to usually use boats. So
Yeah.
it's actually a really smart location change, I think.
I
And
think
it
so,
really
too.
added to it.
Yeah.
And it also worked. They wrote in some really smart elements. There was also some like scares and some noises that came from that would only work in that element. So, good choice.
Yeah, I thought it was great, and I loved like I said, the architecture going on.
Oh, this
It
place.
is beautiful.
This place. There's a room in here. They show a shot of it. It's unbelievable. It's like trees on the walls and are growing. It's so cool looking.
Yeah, well, overall, I say that this is a good murder mystery. I think this is really entertaining, and I recommend going to see it.
Yeah, and it's a shame because I feel like people don't go see these kind of movies, and I don't think this was advertised very well.
No, not really.
Yeah, it's not
No.
getting the play. I don't remember. I remember seeing maybe one trailer in the theater, and we go a lot.
Yeah, we go a lot every week.
So it's kind of a shame because I think this is actually a fun time, and this is the year of sevens. So I would say that I'm giving this one a 7.
I am too.
Again, it's going on with this year of sevens. I feel like every movie I've seen, I'm like, oh, I'm enjoying these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't blow my socks off. It wasn't like I wasn't emotionally like crying or anything. Nothing got me like that. So it's not really pushing that that envelope of what you can do with emotions and stuff like that. So it's not really like going forward more, but it's so much of an entertaining time that it's definitely rising above the mediocre.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun whodunit. I think it was a good time.
Yeah.
And everybody did a great job, and I do not have any issues with was Kelly Riley. I was just teasing when I said that.
Well, Kelly Riley, and you were talking about facial stuff with Tina Fey. Kelly Riley constantly looks like she's either going to kill someone. That's just like how I look. We watched Yellowstone, and that's every episode is like, she's going to cry and kill you.
Yeah,
Like,
and
that's just how it is.
I
Like,
think I just got so sick of all the characters on that show, and she was just the worst, and I just couldn't take it.
yeah, and it kind of it does spoil it when a character you watch so much of and you really want to punch in the face just
Yeah.
is like it's hard to see that actress do something else.
Yeah, but she's good
But
in this. So
She's good. She
know.
definitely does. She's great on Yellowstone too. I mean, she's
No,
when actors
she
can make
is.
you hate and kind of like them.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
she does Diabolical very well, and I mean, you hate her right off the bat, and a lot of people actually love her character. They think she's, but I just
do
think
too. It's one of the most interesting characters, but
Oh,
also
yeah.
she's a son of a bitch.
she's interesting, but she's awful. And so
yeah.
you just, after a while, I was watching that show. I was like, I think I hate this actress now because I just couldn't take it anymore because
Yeah.
I just couldn't take another thing. But
And-
like, it's not her, it's the character, but she's doing her job well. If
Yeah.
you know,
And I think I already talked about this in the before, but I think the movie Eden Lake, which is also more of her crying and freaking out.
yeah,
And I don't think we've seen a lot of movies with her where she isn't doing that.
I know. But that movie
So it's like a lot of
infuriated
crying
me.
and like
I was so
terrified stuff.
Yeah, I was like so mad at that movie. I was like,
that was a hard one to watch.
that one's very difficult to watch. So yeah. But anyway, this movie, go see it. It was fun.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think about it. I would love to hear what your thoughts are, and you can hit us up on social media. Scott runs the movie page, Just Another Movie Night on Instagram. And if you want to talk to me, the Crafty Misfit. So reach out to us.
Yeah. And of course, this is a double feature, and we gave the same score for both.
Yeah, we did.
And so I'm looking forward to the next movie. I'm hoping that doesn't let us down. Oh, wait. Is it The Expendables? Oh, no.
Shut up.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good one.